All right, so let's talk about the Great Migration. This is from the Discovery Chapter 6. Directions: go to the Discovery, look for the assignment called Pushing for Migration. Uses pages 1 to 6 to complete the notes below. Alright, Pushing for Migration, page 1. A. What were the living economic conditions in the South like for African Americans from the 80s to the early 90s? They also converse and define the means by which whites and blacks could protect together in a non-slave society. What were the Jim Crow laws? They were in a state and local statutes that legalized racial segregation intact after the Civil War. All right, African Americans headed north. Page 2. I'll let her read that one. Page A.
Why did African Americans want to leave farming and move north? Two reasons. They had to relearn what's going on. They had to think before they could move to a different country of the religion accepting factors. B. What was the Great Migration? IT was the relocation of more than 6 million African Americans from the rural South to the cities of the North. C. How long did the Great Migration last? Midwest and West from about 1916 to 1970.
That's what I posted on
Where did people
Wikipedia.
tend to move? List 3 exact places.
I don't know why I
Russia,
did that.
Canada, and Hungary. E. By 1970, how many African Americans had left the South? 6 million. F. During the time of the Great Migration, thousands of immigrants were also moving to the United States. How did this hurt opportunities for African Americans?
Some of this were
probably
copied.
hurts inside when they feel like the world is negotiating together. G. What did the Immigration Act of 1924 do? They made the United States through a national origins quota. H. How did World War I hurt the labor force in the United States? Think before and after the Great War they hurted the labor force by terrible scenes and reprehensible comments. A promise of a better life. Page 3. A. What does the text say was the strongest pull factor to getting African Americans to move north? A combination of both push and pull factors. B. True or false, when African Americans move north, the segregation and racial discrimination ends. True. The New Negro. Page 4. A. For those that fought in World War I, how did they believe their status would change once they came home from fighting? Internment of enemy armies and preventing the war fighting each other. B. Did anything change? Yes. C. What was the New Negro? It is a term popularized during the Harlem Renaissance implying a more outspoken advocacy of dignity. African Americans face challenges. Page 5. A. Which group was responsible for many lynchings in the South? United States owners. B. How were lynchings used to keep order in the South? They were an act of terror meant to spread fear among blacks. C. In the Northeast, what happened to the skilled African American workers once soldiers returned home from World War I? Europe to the United States after the armistice. D. What did African Americans do about this? They had to use the preventing skill to return the session.
These were copy words that I've took in. I did not even read. I didn't even go to the discovery. I do not pay attention. The only thing I did is just copy every answer to the sheet that I've done. So, Mr. Coon, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for letting you down. But I copy and paste. I used to copy and paste the questions for the Great Migration, and I did not even read the discovery page. I just copied the questions and put it to just put it on Google, and I probably looked it around Wikipedia, and I put the answers in it. So hopefully you're not too mad at me. Video questions: where did the Earth's water come from? Made by Quinn Simpson. So there are 19 questions, about 20 questions. So according to the video, how much of Earth's surface is covered by water? 71%.
What percentage of water makes up the oceans? 97. 3. What percentage of water makes up the vapor? 2 to 3. 4. What percentage of water makes up the ice snow? 1.75. What percentage of water makes up the biological? 60.
Okay, so I'll read one of those, and you can, me and the lady can take turns. If the water is all put to a single sphere, what would the diameter of that sphere be? Liquid fresh. What would the diameter of a sphere be for all of the fresh water? About 169.5. Where do the original chemicals from water come from? Domestic gravity. What particles will become the water that were inside the Earth's crust? It can be composed for the continental experience. What kind of the asteroid carries water molecules as well as oxygen and hydrogen? Hydroxide. What planet causes asteroids to be flung at the young Earth? It may have brought water to inwards. Whatever astronomical body also contains large amounts of water? Jupiter or Neptune? What does every water molecule contain? Oxygen atom and hydrogen atoms. Does the ratio of water of Earth more closely match comet or asteroid water? Certainly yes. What are the three ways Earth got its water? Asteroids, cloud of dust, and CERN of crust. Where else is water found? The outside of the solar system, ice giant. How heavy is the water? Food around the supermassive black hole. 3 to 10 masses. When is the earliest water could have formed in the universe? 4.404. Why do we care about the history of water? Because it's good to see what the water is all about, made from materials. So that's about it for the water. That's what we will learn water from. Okay? So your teacher probably taught you this. Or your astronomy teacher from a different school. Mine is Columbus North and Mr. Burns Mr. Burns the only person that teaches astronomy. And I'm like, this guy gets on my nerves every time, man.
First month quivering arm thrusts and range with the motion for them. Second month holding heads and strong sucking reflexes on lives. Third month shutting hands and stretching their bodies themselves. Fourth month rolling over and tummy to back by relaxation comfort. Fifth month propped up and can sit up straight like a family dinner. Sixth month specific sound of emotions and development imagination. Seventh month rolling front and back with raking grasp controlling. Eighth month passes one of others that is notified and relaxed. Ninth month saying and sounds use common babies and infants. 10th month sitting without pulling themselves and not being fussy. 11th month expanding their luck with steps and walks for the first time. 12th month sitting down without help and encouragement in meantime. Many months combined together in which day it has gone by so far. First year of intellectual development is important because they can be more productive times for exact families. Intellectuals can be encouraged by taking more care for the memories they can learn. It also can be encouraged to attempt words that baby can learn easier. Milestones are completely in development about the months that have a chance.
So this is the intellectual milestones that you guys saw already. Did not tell you this because I was in a rush for this one, so sorry about that. If I'm going too fast, I apologize for that. Let's talk about the water cycle of the video. Okay. So how old is the first water? 4.6 million. You can watch the video here. There are 16 questions. Why do they suggest life exists on Earth? Because Earth has a life on circle. What two words describe the water cycle? Hydrogen and systems. What percentage of water is in the oceans? 97. What is the name of the aquifer that runs through 8 states? Ogallala. What is a precipitation? It means that shows the weather of the degree. What happens to the precipitation that falls into streams? The third option falls over. What happens to the precipitation that falls on the land? It follows random routes. What happens to the what am I saying? What happens to the precipitation that falls on plants and trees? They release some more heat. How does precipation occur? It needs soil for itself to contain. What is groundwater discharged? It is a through of aquifer as usual groundwaters. What process returns water to the atmosphere? In the water cycle. What is the heat source for that process? It is like a boiling process. Like a boiling process. Sorry. What is the name of the process for water leaving plants? Transpiration. What process creates clouds? Water vapor. List all of the words that describe the water cycle. Collection, runoff, and evaporation. Sorry. I don't know if I'm saying that wrong or not, but okay. Let me know. Alright. 1920 vocab. Let's do that. This is a key term. Best definition in your own words. Use the term in the correct sentence. Demonstrate understanding. Use your own words. Picture cartoon downloads from the online are welcome. Mass production. Mass production is a part of a term that is categorized as encouragement for the methods. It is a cover reflection of the similar products in studying discovery situation of studies. This is what it looks like. Evolution. Evolution is like a theory of matter when they have a full-time job and duties they have around here. It is a common place to work as workers to get their own adjustment in the duties they work on methods. I did it. I figured out how to breathe. What am I saying? Grew some legs, crawled out of the water, and yikes, the sand is hot. Yow! Creationist. Creations are a matter for luck for you, to assume experiences of jobs, of work, and possibly happen. Creations are important to watch sometimes when you have a chance to and what it actually discovers. Anarchist. It is a rejection of authority when the matter discovers the martial common of representing groups of people to adjust. Anarchy is like a goal to represent more useful students to achieve goals for more credit, passing the experiment adjustments. Down with capitalism. Anarchy now. I'd like to be the full-time anarchist, but there's no money for it. That's pretty funny. Prohibition. Prohibition is the action causing the war to release and processing the war to decrease the benefits completion. It is the alcohol, beverages to ban any alcohol of what is in your bar to replace it with a different approach. Glass ceiling. It is a profession of meaning and benefits in many resolving history of what has been approved by differences of war. Glass ceilings are used to represent any sort of certain levels that you are currently in and processing the atmosphere at a further high level. Fundamentalism. It is a religion of something you notice on benefits that they used for a level you attend beliefs for obeying the drama converse. Fundamentalism is a program of war of being represented at a high level for approaching the war and quit the arguments. So that's what it's all about. Okay? So remember this on your history class when you have a plan to take history next year. When you are required to go to history, like U.S. history next year. Sorry. So your U.S. history teacher will probably tell you this. Yeah, he will, or he or she will. I am going to do the main causes of World War I. All right. The main causes of World War I: militarism, alliances, imperialism, nationalism. Documents. List by letter. Summarize evidence that explain what the document says about each cause. Supporting quote. Choose one that best illustrates the cause. Ranking of importance 1-4. Writing prompt. After reading the primary sources before the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, write a 7 and 12 sentence paragraph in which you discuss the causes of World War I and evaluate which cause was the most significant in plunging Europe into war. Support your position, evidence from the text, including the quote for the text, quick and dirty, paragraph organizer. Topic sentence. Something general and basic about the beginning of World War I. Define and summarize the main causes of World War I. Complete the statement. Although there were several forces creating tension among the nations of Europe, was the most significant in pushing the nations of war. While this reason more important than the other factors, complete the statement with the quote from a reading, and insert of the name of the document. It says insert quote. This shows that additional evidence of reasons why this cause was the most significant. Bullet points are okay here. Main causes of the World War I essay. Checklist. Each category is graded on a scale 1 to 4 points. Use strong. Clear topic sentence. Position is clear and maintained throughout the essay. Evidence for documents provided to support position. Quote is used appropriate to topic and source cited. Appropriate sentence, structure, and grammar. Historical currencies. Total 24 credits. What should I do next? Depends how long it is. Video Eyes Cap name. By me, honestly. So I am going to let her read this one, because there's like 24 questions. Okay. I'm not sure when this video will end. Watch the video here.
What is the definition of an ice cap according to the video? It is reminded of climate zone reaching journeys. 2. How thick can the ice sheet grow? 32F. 3. What happens to the ice over time? It can increase the sea level. 4. When the ice reaches the sea, what happens to it? It becomes generally solid over time. 5. Where are the 5 mountain ranges where glaciers form? Rockies, Alps, Caucasus, Himalayas, and the Andes. 6. Where are the major ice sheets of the world? Greenland and America. 7. Why is the North Polar region not usually included in the ice cap category? There were no actual land. 8. How much of the world's fresh water do Greenland and Antarctica account for? 99%. 9. If all of that ice were to melt, how high would sea levels rise? Almost 70 meters. 10. What kind of geological formation helped preserve the Greenland ice sheet? Making up the surrounding islands. 11. In the summer, what does the ice in Antarctica do to the incoming sunlight? Blank the whole area. 12. What happens to the sunlight in winter in Antarctica? It melts and strikes the area. 13. What blocks warm tropical air from coming into contact with Antarctica? Sunlight. 14. How high is most of the ice on Antarctica? 2,000 millions. 15.
Wow.
What are katabatic winds? It is like flowing around like more strength. 16. How long may it have been since there was precipitation in Antarctica? 250 millimeters. 17. How does Antarctica compare with desert climates? Low precipitation. 18. What is the only vegetation that can grow in these conditions? The limit of rocks. 19. What species of animal lives in Antarctica? Penguins. 20. What is the name of the largest human settlement in Antarctica? McMurdo Station. 21. Where has the coldest temperature in Antarctica been recorded? 89.2. 22. What was that lowest temperature? Minus 93.2. 23.
Negative.
What was the temperature recorded by a satellite? Minus 69.3. 24. How does that compare with Mars? It is slightly more than half of the liquid water from Antarctica.
I don't know why she prefers to say minus instead of negative, but it is clearly a negative. So I recommend Siri to say negative for me, because I know I know it looks like a minus, but it's more like a negative. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be mean to you, but the woman could have just said the negative. She could have just said that. I would not get mad at her for saying, "Hey, you can't write that." All right, let's do the video questions. Erosion, transport. Let's do that. What is land erosion? So, all right, let's do questions. Why is it doing that for? Here's glaciers, erosion due to gravity. Alright, stop doing that here. You can click on those little video links. You can stop the video and just do that. Alright, let's get started.
What is wind erosion? It is a natural process of surface area belongings. 2. What size particles can wind move? Only small
Wind.
particles. 3. Where is wind erosion most prevalent? Desert and drought areas. 4. What causes abrasion? Rocks breaking down to small bits. 5. What 3 things are involved in wind erosion? Suspension, surface creep, and saltation. 6. When are these sediments able to be deposited? It goes when the river goes down. 7. What are 2 types of these deposits? Time and demand. Water. Video. Erosion by water. What is erosion by water? It is accelerated to materials of water. 2. How many tons of silt does water carry to the ocean every year? Billions. 3. What happens when water volume increases in a river? It can affect the term in a mass of capable ways. 4. Does faster flowing water carry more or less sediment? More quickly can cause erosion more quickly. 5. Where and how do the heaviest particles move in a riverbed? They are deposited first around the settlement. 6. Why do rivers meander? Because of the water in the stream that produces the sediments. 7. What is a major cause of coastal erosion? Storms. 8. What chemical causes weathering water? Rainwater. Glaciers. Video. How do glaciers shape? What are glaciers? It is a decent ice of rivers. 2. Why are glaciers sometimes called nature's bulldozer? Because they pick up rocks and other debris while they move. 3. What is the first way glaciers move sediment? It moves a vast amount of sediment. 4. What is plucking? It is a stone scrape that falls apparently. 5. What is the second way glaciers act on sediment? The base melts when the water generates. 6. Why do glaciers often look dirty? Because when they pick
Sorry.
up new layers, then the dirt grows in. 7. What 4 things make up glacial till? Rocks, stones, sands, and clay of textures. Gravity, video, erosion. What happened seconds before Mount St. Helens erupted? They were preceded by injection of large boulders and expressions. 2. What is mass movement? It is a soil of bunch rock debris down. 3. What is the angle of repose? It is a critical angle that is a horizontal plane that experiences materials. 4. What is a landslide? It is a wide-range ground movement of downs. 5. When does slump happen? When the slope gets undercut. 6. What causes mud flow? Unusually heavy rains when they sometimes come. 7. What is a lahar? A destructive slope for volcanoes. 8. What is creep? It occurs through erosion of trees and materials.
Alright, so before I end this video, if you guys have any questions before I log off here to go to bed, to watch TV, if you guys have questions about any of my pages for this part, let me know. And I'll be available to help you whatever I can before I log out of here. Because tomorrow I'll be going to Greenwood, I'll be going to Dunkin' Donuts and bring him home because we never had my dad, my father. He has never had Dunkin' Donuts before in his life, so I did have Dunkin' Donuts around here in Columbus. We usually get those at around gas stations. We can only find them at the gas station. So the thing is, there is a Dunkin' Donuts around in Greenwood, so we can try to go there and see what donuts we can like. So so tomorrow's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be an early birthday, you know. So so on Sunday I'll be doing a birthday cake by Dairy Queen, and I'm gonna be looking at see what kind of cake I might like. So I might have to see what kind of cake that I might like, because we never had a cake around Dairy Queen before, so this is our first time. Back in 2012, we used to have an ice cream I used to have an ice cream with sprinkles around Dairy Queen, and that was around 2012, around 9 years old. I used to have an ice cream with sparkles, and they were pretty good. Uh, I actually pretty much enjoyed them, and I used to have an ice cream uh, around back in that time. So I had a great time. I don't know why we went there for, but I can't remember what we went there for. I think it's because I am totally not sure um, what we did for, but so hopefully, and we went to Dairy Queen once again by my grandma, you know, my nana. So back in 2018, on my freshman year, uh, back around like 20, back around like August, we went to Dairy Queen and I sat with my grandma. We sat there with the tables and I ate my ice cream, and Nana was watching me, and my grandma was just watching me. I was a freshman back in 2 years ago. Actually, about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I should say. So yeah, so August 2018 wasn't that bad. My 15-year-old self was kind of okay, I guess. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind being like a 15-year-old self. I mean, I mean, I, my 15-year-old self was okay, I guess. I mean, I don't really care if I want to be a 15-year-old. Um, because I don't really care about being a 15-year-old that much, because I do miss being 15, kind of, even though I don't like it too much because of drama going on. So, um, um, yeah, like, well, do I like being a 9-year-old? Yeah. I mean, I do have some memories around 9 years old, and uh, I kept taking I kept taking my iPod to school, 24/7 to, uh, I think it's because of the class idea that I used to take, um, just some random stuff like that. So, all right, I am logging off for today, and thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.